Let's start with the Times. Qataris make late bid is the headline in the piece by Matt Dickinson and Matt Lawton. The Qatari sheikh looking to buy Manchester United has submitted a last-ditch offer to seize control of the Premier League club. Sam, what's your read on this situation? I know you have it in the Telegraph as well. Has Sheikh Jassim moved into ascendancy with this?
I think, Teddy, it's always been about money. I think it's always been about the price. And there's been a couple of stories in recent weeks that, first of all, that Ineos and Radcliffe bid more. Clearly, they're not bidding for the whole of the club, the 100% that Sheikh Jassim wants to buy. Then we had another story last week about them being the preferred bidder. It's always hard to pin down exactly what's going on when it's not a transparent process at all. But if I was looking at that as an outsider, which I am, I would say that it's about getting the maximum price for this club, and those who are capable of spending the most, who want to buy 100% of Manchester United, is this Sheikh Jassim bid through his sort of self-styled foundation. And I think for the Qataris, prestige is everything. They are absolutely in this race. They want to win. They're so far into it now. They certainly don't want to be seen to be defeated. And I think Rain, the bank, is handling this auction. I think the Glazers know that, and so it's about price. And lo and behold, we've got a new bid.
Yep, Mike Keegan on the bid, John, in the Mail here. Last ditch United bid from Sheikh is the headline here. But interestingly, Mike Keegan writes that the final approved bid, an attempt to see off rival Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He says the offer is believed to be significantly bigger than Sheikh Jassim's previous ones, although still values United at a lower price than Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe, John, then only going for a part of the ownership, but sees it as slightly more valuable as a whole. What's your read on the state of play at the moment and what the Glazers might do?
Yeah, look, that's the point, isn't it? Jim Ratcliffe would only own potentially a share of the club, and I just think that this totally misjudges the mood of Manchester United fans. I mean, Carvey was excellent, wasn't he, in his summary earlier on the bulletin in the last half an hour when he was saying, I think everyone's sick and tired of this. It's time we moved on. The Glazers either got to stick or twist and make a decision sometime soon. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? I actually texted a Man United mate of mine before I came on and said, looking at this, which do you prefer? And immediately said, the Sheikh basically, because it would be complete ownership. I think Man United fans are completely sick and tired of the Glazer family, do not want that ownership and part ownership anymore. It's been a wretched period of history as far as Manchester United are concerned. They're very unhappy with it. And yet Jim Ratcliffe, I think, seems to be getting a very generous press, frankly, even though he's coming in as part owner, potentially. It just defies belief for me. I don't understand quite where that's coming from. It just solves no issues. And I actually think that if it ends up in shared ownership, it could actually be even worse, because shared ownership has a history of failure. It doesn't work. And I think the best at the moment that the Glazers can do is either decide to kind of carry on as they are almost, or make a defining decision and actually sell it to an ownership completely that actually wants to take the club forward and do something with the club. Will that happen? I'm with Sam. I think it's all about the money and the figures, and I think it could drag on. Yeah, and when we're still talking about the final bid 2 weeks after the third and final bid of the last one. So it's just, I think it's still got a way to go in this rather tedious saga now.
Yeah, very opaque situation, isn't it? We had a few deadlines, Sam, that have come and gone, and apparently you can't actually impose a sanction like that on the New York Stock Exchange anyway, where United are listed. This is your paper, Sam. Qatar table final offer for United. Sheikh Jassim lodges late take it or leave it proposal. Sources claim club is valued higher by Ratcliffe's Ineos bid, albeit with that part ownership model. This is by Tom Morgan and James Ducker in your paper. I just wonder what would bring the greatest clarity for Eric Ten Hag and the Manchester United players and fans ahead of the summer, do you feel? Because presumably Sheikh Jassim will bring in that cash, but he might bring in a political storm as well. We'll hear a lot of questions around sports washing again, won't we?
Yes. So, I mean, to answer the first part of that question, yes, the transfer window opens on June the 10th. We've already had the story that Sheikh Jassim, from the moment the deal is agreed, he wants control of transfers. And and Ineos too. So they want control of that part of the business, even if they only own 69% of United under the terms of their bid. So both parties are very conscious of the fact this window is really important for United. The other thing to remember is that if and when the Glazers sell, then the dividends that they pay, the interest that they pay, that should free up around about 45 million. My colleague James Ducker has quoted that figure of FFP clean cash, which can be spent on transfers. To answer the second part, the sports washing, I like John, I was at the World Cup in Qatar. I think what Qatar is trying to do is slightly different. I think they are a very small nation in a very volatile part of the world, or certainly that's the way they see it. Paris Saint-Germain, the World Cup, Manchester United. Although we're constantly reminded that this is a private bid, but the whole point of this Qatari investment is to kind of wave a flag to the world and say we're here, we're an important nation, and we want your diplomatic support. We want to invest in your country. We want a future beyond fossil fuels, and we want a global identity. That's very important for this country. That's what they're doing. There are some big nations around them, Iran, Saudi Arabia, who they have mixed relations with, and it's about forging alliances in the West. That's essentially what Qatar's doing. And of course, there's a lot of people. We haven't really got time to go into it, but a lot of people who are very critical of the way they've gone about it.
Absolutely. We'll discuss more in due course, gentlemen. Hopefully there's some clarity in the coming days and weeks on Manchester United's ownership.